could it be the government who killed Tupac?
Okay, so I've long suspected that the government had something to do with it, and it's because that you got these two young black men, talented in that craft, but also who have the ear of the people. They're basically like the voice of a generation when it comes to that. Tupac got out of jail, signed to death row, came out with All Eyes on Me, California Love, blows up the charts. It's crazy. And now Death Row gives him strength and inherits his beef. So now you got this record company and this hit artist that are saying, F the East Coast, F this record company, F this artist. And this is one of the biggest artists on the East Coast, if not the biggest artist on the East Coast, who's trying to defend himself against these allegations that he had something to do with this shooting. But at the same time, Biggie had only had one album out. He's still fairly new, but his skills are so impressive and so, I mean, just dope as
yeah.
He quickly rises as one of the best MCs in New York, right? But he's also one of the biggest MCs in New York. So now that you got the two heads of coast going against each other and, you know, violence is erupting anytime they're around, I feel like the government saw that, was like, nah, we got to shut this down. And it was like in Malcolm X, when Malcolm X and they had marched and protested on the police station, and then the chief came down and he was like, yo, you need to get these people out here if something bad happens. And Malcolm X puts his hands up and he points this way, and all the Black Panthers and the Muslims walk away, mainly just the Muslims all walk away in a different direction. And the chief, after that scene, I mean, as that scene is ending, it was like, that's too much power for one man.
Wow.
One black man. Right. So I feel like they saw what this was doing. They saw the power. And it's almost like, yeah, there's a lot of power, but what if they decided to link up and fight a bigger power or fight a common threat?
Meaning the government.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We got to get this mother out of here.
Yeah.
They always take our leaders. They always kill our leaders. You can say what you want about Malcolm X getting killed by the Muslims, and it might have been, but it also might have been influence. They did it to Malcolm. They did it to Martin. Who's to say they didn't do it to Pop and Biggie?
Machiavelli, Martin, Malcolm. That's what you're saying?
Eminem.
The interesting about that is when we were doing our Illuminati episode, we were talking about how the government will infiltrate pop culture and use their ops to pass along certain propaganda, certain messaging, and get the word out about the way that they want the world to work.
Yeah.
So anyone who's going against that is a problem, and that problem needs to be erased.
And you know what I'm talking about? I was talking to Eric. Eric's one of our producers of the show. So you talk about how he grew up kind of on West Coast rap, and he remembers when rap was about explaining what was going on in your community. It gave people from the other side of the world or the other side of the country a gaze and an insider view on the disenfranchised, the underserviced, the systemic racism that was going on that side, the police brutality that was going on, and then there was a switch. And now it's not so much about what's going on in the community, it's about how I'm stunting on these out here. I got the baddest car, the baddest over here. You see my crib? I got 14 swimming pools, and I don't know how to swim. And now it's less about spreading the awareness. It's less about mobilizing and fighting for our rights, and it's more about, I'm stunting on y'all punk